Right. Today we're reading The Dinosaur That Pooped a Planet. And this is written by Tom Fletcher, who is the author, and Dougie Poynter drew all the pictures. Tom Fletcher and Dougie Poynter both wrote this book. So there are two authors, Tom Fletcher and Dougie Poynter. And down here it says illustrated, which means pictures drawn, by Garry Parsons. It's got a CD in it too, this book. Yes, it'll flip the right way. That's okay. When we record, it looks backwards, doesn't it? In space, no one can smell your poop. One boy, one space rocket, one very hungry dinosaur, and no sandwiches. The ingredients for an explosive space adventure. But just how will Danny get home when his dinosaur eats their rocket? You can read along with Tom and Dougie in this supersonic book and CD duo. So they've got a CD where the two authors read the book to you. So you can read along with them. There's the CD. But we're going to read the book that we borrowed from the library. And there's a few more. There's the dinosaur that pooped Christmas, the dinosaur that pooped the past, and the dinosaur that pooped the bed too. So there's a lot of these books. Right, here we go. There's a bit of a shadow. I'll try and make sure the shadow's not there. Oh, look, we've got a first page here with a dinosaur that looks like he's wearing... What is he wearing on his head?
A pirate hat.
A pirate hat. And what are they playing, do you think?
Pirates?
Yes. Danny and Dinosaur liked to have fun. Some days they had lots. Some days they had none. Do you think this is a day where they have fun or no fun?
Fun?
It does.
There's a pirate ship there too.
There's a pirate ship and even a pirate car, it looks like, too. That's neat. Here we go. Let's see. One day they were bored. They had no games to play. Danny said, "Dinosaur, what shall we do today? We could mow the lawn. We could tidy the place. We could do our chores, or we could go to space." Oh, which one would you choose? Go to space? Mm-hmm. You'd choose space as well. So they're bored. They've got a few choices. You hate tidying. I think a lot of little people dislike tidying. Right. "But you mustn't forget to have lunch," said their mummy. "You cannot have fun without food for your tummy." So they packed a packed lunch for the Science Museum, where rockets were kept if you wanted to see them.
But how would that fit in her lunchbox?
I don't know if that's going to fit in the lunchbox. Dinosaur might just have to eat that now. It looks like he's going to eat it now, look. I don't think he's taking that for lunch. I think he's eating it now.
Yeah. I can't see.
How about you come around this side, sweetie, so you can see too. Have you stopped playing to come and read with us?
Yeah, I'm on the other side.
There were hundreds of rockets and spaceship surprises. Tall ones and small ones of all shapes and sizes. And one that was ready to launch with a door, big enough for a boy and his pet dinosaur.
Why is there a spacesuit in there?
Well, it's a good question. I suppose it's all there as a model to show you what people would need to blast off into space. Except I think they might actually try to use it to blast off into space. Oh my, let's see. Here we are. It says, "They ignored all the warnings. They couldn't care less. They pressed all the things they shouldn't have pressed." Oh dear. And there are a lot of buttons. And look, they look quite happy. They're pressing the big red one. T-5. 4. It is the launch button. Well done, yes. T-5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Ignition. They started their intergalactic space mission.
Did Danny wear the spacesuit?
No. I think. Did who wear the spacesuit?
Danny wear the spacesuit.
Yeah, Danny's wearing the spacesuit. Dinosaur's not wearing any suit of any
Look at all
kind.
the warnings. Oh no, you broke through the roof.
I didn't see many warnings, but there were obviously warnings there about trying to fly in this ship, but they did.
Through the roof.
Yes, look. They flew higher than houses and buildings and cranes, much higher than birds, even higher than planes.
Hold you, the birds get.
Oh gosh, look at all that smoke.
Bird might
And yes,
get
there's a little
smoked.
bird here that looks a little bit startled and surprised.
Bird might get smoked.
And there you've got Dinosaur and Danny looking out the window. The bird might get
Smoked.
smoked. Yes, the bird better move out the way. It could get smoked, you're right. Let's see what's happening next. "We're in space," Danny yelled as they floated around. But the dinosaur's tongue made a rumbling sound. Oh dear.
There's a torch.
Oh dear. He's making a rumbling noise, his tummy. Why is his tummy rumbling?
Because he's hungry.
He's hungry? He could be hungry. Oh yes, he might need to go poop. Let's see. Is it time to have lunch? Danny looked at his watch. Then he looked all around for the dino's lunchbox. Danny started to worry, then started to panic. They'd left their packed lunches back home on their planet. Oh, so he is trying to feed Dinosaur. And there's the home planet, you're right, all the way over there. Uh-oh, panic time, panic time. What will we do? Dinosaur's hungry? What are we going to do? What do you think they might do?
Poop.
Well, it turns out Dinosaur might be hungry, so what do you think they might do for food?
Yeah.
Oh dear, it said at the back. I wonder if you remember.
Oh,
Oh, I think you're right. Look. So with no food on board, not the smallest of crumbs, a disastrous dinosaur feast had begun.
they can eat wires.
Uh-oh.
Why?
Well, he chomps anything, this dinosaur, doesn't he? Look at him. He's eating everything. Look at this. It gobbled up gadgets and gizmos galore. Nothing was safe from the space dinosaur. Robots and ray guns and blinking red blinkers, eating things thought up by NASA's great thinkers. The hyperdrive gamma reactor machine was swallowed along with the space tractor beam. Oh dear.
What's a space tractor beam?
Well, again, good question. I didn't invent it, but it's obviously something important in space. It's a beam, maybe it tracks things. It says tractor, though, so I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe it calls all tractors? All
Well,
flying tractors?
I don't know if you have tractors in space, though, so that's an interesting one. But it's some kind of important gadget that's important for the flying of this spaceship, clearly. It chewed and it chomped on the spaceship's controls. The rocket was dotted with dino tooth holes. Inside it was bare. The spaceship was empty. Outside there were more things to eat. There was plenty.
Oh, but there are more rockets.
What do you think he's going to eat outside the spaceship?
More rockets.
More rockets. Yes, he might eat things like the moon. Look. Oh,
Danny, take your torch. Take your torch, Danny.
Danny, you're going to need your torch. Let's see what Dinosaur's eating now. It broke down the door with a cool ninja chop. Out in space, dinosaurs are much harder to stop. Yes, he was kind of trapped in the spaceship, but now that he's out of the spaceship, well, there's nothing to stop him eating everything, is there? Oh, goodness me, look. It chomped on the moon like a big chunk of cheese, then shoved even more in its mouth with a squeeze.
I think it is cheese.
Oh, goodness, it is cheese, look. Well, it thinks it's cheese. The moon does look a bit like cheese in this
It's
picture.
coming out of the rocket. Which
And look
is
how tiny
totally
his rocket
broken.
is and how big his dinosaur is now. Don't know how his dinosaur ever fit in the rocket now. It munched on the Martians from Mars and their cats. Their cats are like ours, but their cats wear cool hats. Satellites, Saturn, and 6 supernovas, shape-shifting saucers, and 7 space rovers.
Needs to go poo-poo.
Well, he will eventually, but this dinosaur's got a very big appetite. He's eating all these things.
And they're all mechanical.
And all mechanical too, yes. It guzzled 5 gallons of fuel from the tank, and Danny's jaw dropped as he watched what it drank. With a crunch and a crack and a nom 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 nom, in one dino gulp their rocket was gone.
Look how big his tummy is.
Oh dear, he's humongous. Look how tiny Danny's now.
Why did he drink
He's going
fuel?
to, yes, Neil. Well, it's a good question. I guess he didn't have anything else to drink down with all this food. So he drank down fuel. Now nothing was left. All Danny could see was a fat dinosaur where the rocket should be. And so they were stranded, with no way back home. Just Danny and Dino in space all alone.
And your torch. Don't drop it.
Look,
Maybe grab that anytime soon.
he's going to try and grab it. Things float quite slowly in space, but they do float away. It's
But-
hard to bring them back. Let's see, now Danny was crying.
You can't wipe your tears though.
No. He cried and he cried in his helmet, look. He cried and his tears filled his spacesuit inside.
Oh dear.
Oh, there's a puddle starting to form in the spacesuit, look. Oh dear. Unless they were going to stay there forever, the dinosaur needed to do something clever. Now, how do you think Dinosaur feels now?
Poopy asked.
Well, first of all, how do you think Dinosaur feels now that Danny's crying?
A bit mean. Like he did something wrong.
Like he did something wrong. Maybe he's feeling a bit sad. He looks a bit like that right now.
But he knows something that he can do.
He knows. Because you know these books, don't you? Let's see. With the feeling of guilt deep down in its gut, its brain brewed a plan involving its butt. It knew there was only one thing it could do. To get them back home, it needed to...
Look, there it is.
There's home. Oh dear, there you go. Look at him. I've got the idea. Poo. Oh dear, that's what he's got to do. And Danny's like, oh dear. Not that again. Yep, that again. Let's see. There's a hand reaching up for Daddy too. Oh no, that's the dinosaur's hand. There's home. Aha. Oh goodness, what do you think this is?
Everything.
Look! Look at this poop!
It's
Coming out of his butt. Everything that he swallowed
was
is coming out now covered with poo. Let's see.
Even an alien.
Even an alien, yes. And their cats. Like a poop-powered rocket. The dinosaur flew. Dan hopped on its back and he watched as it pooed. One moment, I'm reading, sweetheart. It pooped out the robots and ray guns and blinkers. The things NASA's thinkers thought up were now stinkers. It pooped out the moon, it pooped out the stars. It pooped the space rovers and Martians from Mars.
And their pets.
Dear. What can you see in there? You said the Martian. That's about their space rocket.
And I can
There's
see
a fish, yeah.
goldfish.
And a goldfish.
And a television.
Oh, goodness me. Space. There's satellite dishes there too.
And another ship.
A part of a rover. Oh, gosh. A Martian spaceship, look. Oh, gosh, let's see. Do you think they got home with this? Oh, there's more and more of it. Look at that. There's Dinosaur. This big propulsion. Look at it. They started here. Yes, they went wee with all this poop energy. When Danny looked back, he could see a poop trail from far out in space to the dinosaur's tail. They headed for Earth and they started to orbit. It pooped on the clouds, but the clouds just absorbed it.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. There's poop on the Earth's clouds now too. Oh my goodness me. They flew past the buildings and streets of their town, leaving the houses all smelly and brown, and finally landed back down on the ground. Hooray, Danny cried. We are home safe and sound. It's not exactly great though. The home is now the whole home is covered in poo. So is the town. It's gonna be a big cleanup mission, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Well, yes, there's a few that survived. Let's see. They looked to the sky, and the things that were pooed had formed a poop planet right next to the moon. And so Danny promised to listen to Mummy. Because fun is not fun without food for your tummy.
You shouldn't forget about the Space Museum.
No. They needed. If they had the food, none of this would have happened. Now there's a poop-shaped planet next to the moon. Because everything is pooped out. Is all there.
That would look nice.
You think it would look nice? And just when you thought all the pooping was done, a Mars cat plopped out of the dinosaur's bum.
But now on Earth.
It is on Earth now. We did wonder where the Mars cat had gone. Oh, goodness me. Thank you for listening.